That's a big one. Big one. Great big one. I mean, exploded it.
Drilling at 30 yards with a recurve, dude.
Alright y'all, as you can see from the title of your video, this is going to be how to spine your arrows right for your bow, your trad bow, without having to cut them. Some people out there, I'll just tell you now, you will have to cut the arrows, as some people can't do it. I'm shooting a 31 inch or 30 inch draw with a 31 inch arrow. All these arrows, every arrow I have, all different kinds, and the ones in the quiver are cut to 31 inches. I always like my arrow being an inch over the shelf. So I like them to be cut at 31, and then, you know what I mean? So I don't want to cut my arrows. So for me, only way I can fix it is by either downgrading the weight, tip weight, or upgrading it, depending on how the spine flies. I also want to apologize. In the last video, I had gotten the spines mixed up. I always watch what direction the shafts of the arrows go. Knock left is too stiff, and knock right is too weak. So keep that in mind throughout this whole video. I guess for this one, it's not like your knock height, how I do my knock height. This is way different. Knock height, you have to have your arrow, you need to have your target perfectly level with you and everything. This really doesn't matter as long as you're hitting that target, and I do try to aim for the center the best as I can, but you're mostly looking for the arrow, which I'll show you guys after I shoot these, to be either knock right or knock left, and then I can show you how to up and down your tip weight to try and correct that. So first up, I just want to get this arrow out of here. This is a 300 spine tip with 150 grain target tip with a 25 grain insert, 175 grains up front, 300 spine. Just from me knowing the bow, knowing the arrow, I know that this is way out of spine. But I'm going to set you guys up behind me. I figured today's video would be mostly focused on shots from behind, watching arrow flight over me. So I'm going to get you guys set up this way. It got me a perfect shooting lane back into the woods. Can't hit nothing for a long way. So we're going to get set up right here behind me, and I'm going to fling arrows down range. And again, the distance is about 10 yards. Granted, you can shoot from where you're going to be hunting from. I just do 10 yards. These arrows, it's already tuned for this bow, which as you guys seen if you watched the last video, at 30 yards is dead on, pinpoint on. I just did them from the same distance from here to there, and they fly perfect. So I don't see an issue. I guess it's all depends on who you are and how you are about it. That's how you can judge it. But anyway, yep, just going to aim for the center, and let's see how they fly. And as y'all can see, look at how bad and out of spine those arrows are. It's terrible. All right, as y'all can see, this is how the arrow went in. I'm telling you, from this angle, it looks straight. But there it is. That kind of shows you even better. It went way knock right. I mean, horrible. They're almost kicked directly sideways. So just knowing from experience, in order to fix this, I would have to downgrade the tip weight to try and straighten the arrow out. But these ain't the arrows I'm wanting to tune my bow with, so that was just an example. I'm actually going to leave the arrow in there. I want to shoot a straight one in there now. I'm going to shoot an arrow that my bow is already tuned with, which would be these 400 spines with a 100 grain tip, 25 grain insert, 125 grain total up front. All right, y'all, here we go. And I'm sure the camera seen that in flight. I ain't worried about where I hit perfect, but I still ain't worried about it. The arrow just flew straight as possible, directly straight, and that's what I'm looking for right there. But like I said, I've already tuned these arrows the way I like them. No issues, I love them. As you can see, this is the one, and I'm talking straight, directly down to where my shelf of my bow was, this arrow's hit. So, therefore, these are perfect. This, look at how kicked over this is. I almost blew plumb past the target and hit clear over here on the left. So these arrows, I know, I can set out here and play with them, get them tuned right. But, like I say, I ain't worried about it. These are the results I'm looking for. Which I know what you guys are thinking out there. You know, under spine, this thing is 300 grains. But no matter, this is 300 spines, how's it under spine? But from the way I take it is, the more tip weight you add, the more that the arrow's getting hit and it's shock waving the arrow, and there's a whole bunch of mathematical stuff with it. And like I told y'all in the last video, I skip all that bull crap. But they are right, that's exactly what happens. So if I went down to, I would say 125 grain tip on this, I could get this arrow to fly dag near perfect. And then it would be either between a 100 grain to 125, and this arrow should be flying bullet straight, and then I should be able to put some fletchings on, which they do help correct the arrow. This thing would fly perfect. But it's another thing, like I say, if you guys are gonna tune arrows, do not tune with your fletchings, tune with bare shaft. You want these bare shafts at 30 yards to shoot just as good as ones with fletchings, and I know these red arrows do, because I've tried it and I was blown away. But here is today's main focus. These are 340 spine. This is my first time ever firing a 340 out of a bow. These are 340. Another major thing is, if you guys are going to be shooting with Luminox, I suggest you to tune your bow with Luminox on. Trust me, it can make a difference. But it's weird because I'll tune them with these on and then switch to my regular Nox, and the regular Nox shoot just as straight as these do. But if I tune with regular Nox, switch to these, it just don't want to tune right. It's weird. So I always tune with everything. That if you got wraps on it, put your wraps on the arrow and all that. But like I say, they're 340. I got it tipped with 100 grain tip on it. I'm hoping this is perfect. If it ain't, then I'm gonna have to, you know, figure something out from there. I think in the house, all I have is 100 and 150 grain broadheads. So if it ain't tuned right, that's fine. I'll just have to go get some broadheads, wait on them to come, and I'll know exactly what broadhead to put on the tip of these, and then I can hunt with these arrows. But in the meantime, my arrows are already tuned for this bow, and got the broadheads tuned for this one and all that. So I just keep hunting with this arrows until I get these ones set. But hopefully I shoot down range and they're pretty much centered. I just tipped them with what I think is already good. But like I say, might not be. So let's take a shot. Only one way to find out. Make sure you guys got a backdrop anytime you're shooting and tuning arrows and stuff, because these things can do unbelievably things and hit things that you don't want to be shooting at. So say the target is down here. I think I'm going to switch directly to a 150. So here we go. We got 150 grains. Field point. Let's put her on here to see what she does. Now I might overspine it, so then I have to go to 125. But let's see how she does. I think she'll shoot fine. I mean, it's slightly out of spine. This ain't the angle I was standing in. The arrow went in pretty much exactly how it's setting now. I would have been standing directly here, the arrow went in this way, or about here, arrow went in this way. Let's say you wanted to shoot 150 grain broadhead up front max, you can buy inserts for these, a 25, 50 grain insert, whatever. Just add up all the tip weight together and I'll tell you how much you're shooting up front. This would be considered as 175 grains up front, including the insert that's in it. But broadhead wise would have been 150 grain broadhead. So this is already, so I'd probably need total weight up front 220 in order to get this arrow to fly perfect. And as you can see, it was just, that was the difference right there. Unfortunately, 150 grain tip weight's all I have. I don't have no higher tip weight grains than that. 150 would have been my max on any arrow. So I guess that pretty much sums the video for now. I'll have to get some heavier tip grains. I could go to leave a 25 grain insert, go to a 175 tip grain, you know, weight tip on the front and shoot. But you guys seen what the bear shaft did. It shot right. Now let's just say, let's take these fletchings. This is big. I'll take these fletchings. Watch how much it corrects it. I'm gonna put 2 screens up side by side. It would have been the old shot just now and then now when I'm shooting. Let's just take a look at how much these will correct your arrow. This is why I always say don't shoot with your feathers, because it will make this thing look perfect almost. Look, see that? Tell you what, this one now, see, it's giving me a left reading, a weak reading. So now it's telling me to drop the spine down, which it actually could be very right. I did drop my glove on that last shot. Let's see if this one does it too. No, it's still going too stiff, same spot. This is just what the veins do to correct it. That's just how big of a difference it is. And there it is. And as you can see, I'm hitting bullseye every single time. But like I said, that don't matter. But I honestly got that arrow to shoot, I'm talking almost perfect. Almost perfect. But it still wouldn't quite do it. And that's what I'm saying. You need to, it's going to take a way higher weight grain to get it to shoot. If I drop that arrow back down to 100, it's going to do what it was doing earlier. Almost missed the whole target to the left. So that's why arrow spine is so important. The bow in today's video was the PMZ Coral Snake from Amazon. I only got 100 and some bucks in this bow. This thing is sweet. It's like $120, real cheap bow. Alright, so before you all end up leaving this video, I am going to shoot at 20 yards with these 2 arrows here. I do not have the bear shaft arrow with me. It's upstairs, but this is the exact arrow I'm hunting with. It's from the Illuminoc to a 400 spine arrow, tipped with 100 grain. Well, sort of appears to be a single bevel, but it quite ain't. It's a knockoff brand off Amazon, but I have shot a deer with this and it's devastating. With a 25 grain insert in it. And then the second arrow will be a regular knock and a 400 spine arrow with 25 grain insert and 100 grain field point. So hopefully y'all will end up leaving this video today and taking away something that will help you. I'm sorry if it seems a little out of place. That's just the way I am. When I get a camera in front of me, I like to make things a lot more complicated than what they actually are. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of y'all out there would be that way too. So hopefully y'all out there will forgive me for any mess ups in this video. I've been doing YouTube for 3 years now, and I'm still, you know, it still makes me a little nervous in front of the camera for whatever reason. Sometimes I just forget about the camera being there, and sometimes it's just, you know, like, dang, I'm talking to a camera, but I'm actually talking to y'all out there that's watching the video. But anyway, they're cut to the exact same length, same exact arrows. These are the 2 that I'll be shooting at 20. just to go over the spine, you can go off of the nocks. If it's shooting knock right, it's too weak, knock left, too stiff. Me personally, if the shaft's going into the right, it's too stiff. If it's going into the left, it's too weak. And if you want to correct it without cutting the arrow, if it's going into the right, up the grain. If it's going into the left, lower the grain. So too stiff, up the grain, too weak, lower the grain. And that pretty much will sum up that. Like I say, some of us would have to cut the arrows. If I didn't want to add inserts and all that, I could cut down these new arrows, but I'd have 1 inch total to be able to cut off. And after that, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? Because then it's too short for my draw length. So, just say I do got a 30-inch draw. So, I do got, you know, it won't fit in this camera. This will be the last video out there on these bows for a minute. Unless y'all out there want me to cover something on the bow, then I'll make a video on it. Like I said, I'm no expert. I'm just learning this stuff too. But I think this right here will be the last one. I'm just going to focus on uploading hunting content from here till the end of season. Dead center. That was with the broadhead. And then here comes the field point. Dead center. So there it is. I'm gonna grab me a thumbnail, head in. I gotta switch this back over, my knock points on the arrows, and then I'll be heading into the woods tonight. Probably edit on this for a little bit. This has been Hunt Fish How Outdoors. I'm your host Trey. I want to thank each and every one of y'all out there for watching. If I didn't cover anything, put it down in the comments section below. And like I say, go check out the review on this bow. Absolutely love it. And I'll see you all on another video.
I got him.